So George, thanks for talking with me today, and we're talking about kind of some ongoing projects in the Shea value chain in Ghana. First of all, I want you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself. But we'll then talk about kind of the context behind our Shea projects in the northern region of Ghana. So go ahead, George.
All right. Thanks, Carl. I'm George Obeng-Akrofi, and I'm from Ghana. I did my undergraduate and master's program in agricultural engineering in Ghana and KNUST actually before joining ISU to work under Professor Dekmaya. So I'm also in ISU doing my PhD studies, and my research is actually focused on the Shea nut value chain to improve rural livelihoods in Ghana. And that's what I've been doing for the past 1 year, since January 2022.
1 year, so you've been in the United States in a very interesting time. So
exactly,
it's an interesting time in the whole world.
The whole world, yes.
So your PhD work is focused on kind of Shea in Ghana, and so it's interesting. You're Ghanaian, but you're focused on Ghana. But you're not from the north. It's in the northern part of the country, and you're.
Yes, please. So
go ahead.
Exactly. So when it comes to Shea, it only grows in Ghana, the northern part of Ghana. That's where it's usually grows. So on the African continent, there is this part on the continent, just like we have the sub-Saharan aspect. We have a section called the Sahel region, which is like the Shea region, and that's where Shea grows. And in Ghana, it is actually in the northern part of Ghana where we have the upper east, the upper west, the Savannah region, and the upper north region.
Okay, and so you're kind of focused on the upper north region.
Yes, I'm focused on the upper east region, upper west region, where Ullo is.
Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. So this Sahel region, it's kind of arid, dry. There's one,
there's
southern
one
part of
moderate rainfall, one rainfall, and it spans from Senegal through to Ethiopia.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, along that stretch.
So and Shea is kind of a native tree, natural growing tree. So tell us a little bit more about the project, about the reasons behind the Shea work.
Okay, so over the past, I think 5 years or so, EWB have been working with Ullo. Okay. Before Dr. Maya came on board, and they were working on their water project. But as I was saying, Ullo is in the northern part of Ghana where Shea actually go. Throughout their visits, they've been encountering the Shea, they've been seeing the Shea, but they're focused on the water project they were working on. So in 2019 winter travel, which was last year actually, they decided to delve more into the livelihoods of the people in the community. So they thought, why not we consider the Shea product? Because Shea is just like the green gold of the community. Every woman in the community is engaged in Shea one way or the other. So why not think of improving the livelihoods of the community by linking up with the Shea industry in the community? So during that, joined the EWB team. I was actually in Ghana by then, so I joined the EWB team. We went up there. I actually visited them when they were up there, and as part of their team, even though it was for engineering projects and all, they added one international business student from ISU by the name of Reed, actually the main man, if I should say, in having interaction with the women, having interaction with the girls and the kids that's also involved in the Shea picking, the Shea processing and all. So it was during that time when Dr. Maya actually asked that, well, we can think of something. There's when it comes to projects, when it comes to research, there's nothing, and we try to find a problem, trying to understand the context. So that's how come the project has been. And when we came here back in January 2019 during the spring, we decided to delve in more into understanding the background of the Shea industry in the rural communities. And that was when we realized that, well, this industry has a potential to improve the livelihoods of the people in the community by directly impacting into the women in the community. So the project's main focus is to improve the livelihood of the community by, improving the Shea industry in the community. That's what the project's main focus is and the main vision of the project is.
Okay, so kind of tell us a little bit about what's kind of broadly what's happened over the last year since you've come to Iowa State. You've kind of started doing work on your PhD, but outside of that, Engineers Without Borders Iowa State is also kind of doing work. So give us some updates about the project.
Yeah. So during the winter travel, with the emergence of hermetic bag technology, it's made some viral spread when it comes to grain storage and all. So what we actually did was wanted to test some ideas that we had, that if pig's bags can help the cereal grains, could it be also viable in, helping or storing this oil seed crop, that is the Shea that we know. So we said I sent some pig bag there, and we had other storage methods, polypropylene bag. So we stored them from December through to April, and we assessed the quality. We made the community members actually assess the quality based on the site and how they look, based on their own intuition. And they found out that, well, the storing the nuts in the hermetic bag was quite okay. It was good because the quality was well maintained as compared to the other systems that we considered. And so during that trip, we made a pledge to the community that we'll be giving them 250 bags to store their produce during this year's growing season, which was from July to August. So as an update, through the help of Self-Help International, we got funds to send to the community to purchase 350 bags of these hermetic bags.
And that's like how many kg is in a?
So so that's 50 kg per bag, because the bag is actually 100 kg for maize, but when it comes to Shea, it can't have this same 100 kg. So we presume that 50 kg per bag will be something viable for the women. And we also got in touch with Shea Technologies, the guy in Ghana who actually develops moisture probe meters, to also get us some 2 moisture meters for these women. And we also gave them some taps, because we got to know that their post-harvest handling of the crop also plays a major role in the suffering that they face, because they harvest the crop, they don't dry them well, they store them anyhow, and they lose substantial amount of it. So they are deprived of the economic benefits of the crop. So we gave them taps to help them to dry, moisture meters to let them know how dry their product is, and also bags to also store effectively for the season. However, one thing we got to know in the course of the season is that Shea is just like me going to the gym, right? It is the plant grows very well, or it produces good amounts of Shea nuts continuously for 2 to 3 years. And in the 4th year, the production goes through. That's how the nature is. So for me, when I hit the gym continuously for 3 days, I just rest on the 4th day. I don't do anything. So that's how Shea also is. So this year has actually been one of those years where the production or the yielding rate was really low. It was about 1/4 of what they usually get. Right. So most of our intervention, according to information that we had, is that they were not being in use because they couldn't even meet the demand for the consumers or the customers. So they weren't even able to store the product. But anyway, we've been able to provide them with all these storage bags, moisture meters, and for international.
Okay. So So this year is a down year, but you were able to do that. Okay,
Yes.
so that's it. And there is kind of a budding partnership, right, between Iowa State University, Engineers Without Borders, and KNUST and Engineers Without Borders as well, correct?
Yes, please. There's a binding partnership with that. So EWB KNUST as it stands now have 5 projects going on in Ghana, in Ullo, right?
Okay.
5 projects, all holistically. And KNUST has also come up with about 3 to 4 projects. So in all, 9 projects is going on in Ghana. And through our partnership, which has been very great this year because of travel restrictions and all these things the pandemic has brought. So through our partnership, KNUST is actually able to act on ISU's behalf to keep things moving in Ullo. So for instance, when it comes to the Shea projects, for instance, KNUST has been able to acquire about 14 bags of Shea for us to do an extensive research with it on KNUST campus. So on the usual, we would have gone to Ullo, get a place in Ullo to store the nuts, buy the nuts, and do all this engineering research work that we are supposed to do. But since we weren't able to travel and all, KNUST, through our partnership, has been able to, carry on this project on our behalf. In other words, we remotely implementing the project. There's also some rainwater catchment projects, some clinic projects, and all these ones which is going on. Even though ISU is not able to travel, KNUST is also doing that on their behalf.
Well, that's great, and I would imagine there's a good interaction between Iowa State and KNUST.
Yes, there's a great direction that. And one thing I should say, I always say that I can't stop saying that is with the community themselves. Kyle, you believe, I don't know, you agree with me that you can't help someone who is not ready to help him or herself, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah,
Ullo as a community, so Ullo as a community have made things really easy for us, really smooth for us, because if it's coming in as a new agency, if I should put it in that way, they've been able to coordinate with them as they would have with ISU. And that has been so smooth throughout the process. We tell them KNUST to be carrying out the research. They actually facilitated getting the nuts. The people in Ullo, actually, our contacts in Ullo also transported the nuts in trials to KNUST because we are also working with them, and they actually have the capability to test the nuts in terms of quality, in terms of quantity, and all those things. So, the community, I would say, is one of our greatest partners, if I should put it in that way.
So there's kind of a tri-partnership between the traditional community, the Ullo community, Iowa State, and KNUST. So that's cool. Well, that's cool, and that sounds like the Shea project. Out of it, it's kind of a development project. You have your own kind of PhD work on the side that's kind of on engineering post-harvest work, along with your other work at Iowa State. So it's a kind of a really interesting integrated project.
It's a really interesting. It's a really interesting one. So my PhD is actually focused on, as you said, the engineering aspects, the post-harvest aspects, taking on the value of the products in terms of the post-harvest and engineering. And as part of EWB and a new organization which we are actually bringing out, because EWB can't deal with the entrepreneurial and business development of projects. That's not under their scope. So some students in the EWB, which I've been working with, we've also been thinking of, how can we help with the entrepreneurial aspect of it? Could it be that we'll let women process Shea, we come to the States and sell it? Can we link them up with businessmen here in the States or business owners where they can also be selling Ullo Shea in the market? These are things which can happen to actually help the women there to make more money or generate more revenue from what they're actually doing as it stands now.
Yeah. It's a really cool project.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so far it's been good. It's been
great.
good. It's
Well,
been good.
thanks, George, for talking about it with
Thank you,
me.
Tad.
And
Yeah,
yeah, and have a good Christmas.
thank you.
And